you rightly pointed out that, and it was in fact after the unfortunate earthquake of 2005 that we brought in a comprehensive legal and institutional framework for disaster risk management. The core focus of all the architecture and the structure was to mitigate and reduce the impact of likely disasters, both geophysical and hydrometeorological or human induced. So here I would like to, just inform you about our understanding. We don't see climate change adaptation and disaster risk reduction as very much different thing. The In simple terms, the climate change adaptation is actually disaster risk reduction, mostly actually disaster risk reduction against hydrometeorological hazards. While the scope of disaster risk reduction could be a little bit broader because it would also uh, include actions and mitigation measures that are aimed at reducing vulnerabilities and against geophysical hazards like earthquakes and landslides or tsunamis or things like that. But mostly, they are interlinked, and that is why precisely we and the Ministry of Climate Change are working very closely with each other. The Ministry of Climate Change is part of our APEX institutional structure, which is National Disaster Management Commission, headed by the Prime Minister, where the Minister of Climate Change is sitting in there. We also have in the council, even the National Disaster Management Authority is part of important deliberations and decision making. Uh, we have a national disaster risk reduction strategy 20 2025 to 2030. It's a living document. We also have a policy. We have national disaster management plan that outlines specific interventions that are likely that are required to be undertaken and which are likely to have us more resilient as a nation and community. Now, our national disaster risk reduction strategy has specific goals and objectives. Among others, it includes strengthening of risk knowledge, and that is the basis of all decision making, adaptation, disaster risk reduction, preparedness. Now, here we lack, and you were told by the honorable minister in the morning that a very good initiative with the Italian government of Green University that is likely to, we need to specifically know how climate change is likely to affect us, in what areas, to what extent, and whether there are opportunities also which we can tap, and what are the specific measures that are likely to reduce the impact of such hazard or impact. Now, we at the NDMA have been working since 2007 on different initiatives that included multi-hazard vulnerability risk assessments to understand where we are likely to be hit by specific hazards and how we can then take decisions of reducing or mitigating the impact of such hazards. This also lays emphasis on the strategy lays emphasis on climate adaptive, risk sensitive, and inclusive development. So whatever has been done. That needs to be corrected. But whatever is to be done needs to be risk sensitive, climate adaptive, and inclusive. And in that, our prime importance is towards building resilient infrastructure and community through ecosystem based approach. Now, there are other interventions also, like modernizing our. Don't need to take. We don't need to have rescuers going into the middle of the river like in Swat. A drone can pick up 100 kg human body and can bring it to the safe area. So these interventions, and we didn't had any urban search and rescue team back in 2005. This Margala Tower was, the normal responders, the firefighters were doing that response. Now, Alhamdulillah, we have over 9 urban search and rescue teams. We have one of our urban search and rescue teams is UNINSAR. While we have traveled a long way, but we need to catch up a lot. And in And we also need to focus on sustainable investment and financing channels. And I'm happy to inform most of the audience that may not know that Pakistan is one of the few countries that has a specific dedicated national disaster risk management fund for investments in disasters. Our ministry is making a lot of efforts on attracting or getting the funding from GCF or other sources. While there are disappointments in there because the access issues are there, but we are continuously working. We understand that our standard disaster risk reduction measures primarily funded through Pakistan public sector development program, development partners contributions needs to take we need to take we need to implement that vigorously, but the shortest possible answer is anticipate react against specific hazards, which we are working with the communities and with the responders, and even the WFP is one of the contributors to such efforts. So disaster risk reduction strategy and climate change adaptation, all these are very much linked, and contributing to both of them actually make us resilient.